Now, if you want to be a loser, then I recommend you don't like and subscribe. But if you want to be one of the people that gets all the stuff done in the world, then I recommend you like and subscribe.
Book of Larry podcast. Welcome back for another episode.
This is the persecution of the person that's leading by very, very substantial numbers in the Republican primary and leading Biden by a lot.
Gosh.
So if you can't beat him, you persecute him or you prosecute him. We can't let this happen in America.
Oh my God, he said he's being persecuted. This is terrible. Political persecution. I mean, that's when you're locked away by your political enemies. You're thrown into solitary confinement in a prison cell. Can't communicate with the outside world. You eat all kinds of shitty foods. They probably beat you. That's political persecution. He's probably in a prison cell right now, getting his naked ass spanked by some prison guard's belt that are pointing and laughing at his big ass. Now, what I don't understand there, he said he's being persecuted, yet he was still wearing his suit and he had an umbrella. I gotta wonder. I wonder if they just took him from his current state of persecution and they put him into a nice clean suit with his umbrella, standing there looking like he's basically all like a comfy rich dude that's just complaining about some kind of treatment that's not even happening.
And they're taking it to a level that I don't think it's ever been so bad. And they treat him like a dog. Nobody's ever been treated worse than Larry, except for maybe me. They treat him like a dog. They do this thing. They come in. They don't like and subscribe. I recommend you do. I know a lot of people. They love this guy. I know him. Very good people. They love him. They recommend him. They say Larry's the best. They say Larry's a very good guy. They love him. They like and subscribe.
And they just wanted to make it look like he's basically just whining and complaining and making up all kinds of lies and claims because he's scared and angry about legitimate charges against him for basically inciting an insurrection and defrauding the United States government and conspiring to disrupt a congressional procedure, basically then disrupting the congressional procedure. So he's been charged with these crimes, major crimes, folks. He's indicted for the third time, as we know. So they're probably, what they do is they've been persecuting him in a prison cell, making him eat burnt baked beans off a dirty prison cell floor, shining Bubba's shoes, getting his bare bottom whacked, get him his bare bottom spanked by prison guards' belts while they're pointing and laughing at him and persecuting him. People don't just make claims that they're being persecuted. They don't use words like that unless they must be true. So what they're doing is they probably just took him from that state of being, wearing those torn, tattered prison clothing and eating those burnt baked beans off the dirty prison floor, fighting off prison little rats for every scrap of food and morsel he can get in his prison cell. They probably just cleaned him up, put him into a nice, comfy, clean suit, made him look like kind of like this fat this fat complaining rich guy that's just making up claims, complaining and whining and scared and angry about legitimate charges against him, folks. So but he said persecution. He's being persecuted. You heard it. I heard it. Conspiracy to defraud the United States. Conspiracy to obstruct official proceeding. Obstruction of official proceeding. Conspiracy against riots.
An attempt means you tried. Conspiracy means a couple
Conspiracy
of people
against riots, meaning that they're claiming that he was trying to take away the rights of Americans to vote, to have our voices heard. Now, what kind of phony baloney BS is that? As if we need a democratic process in the United States anyways.
An area where we do get beyond the idea that maybe
one
they
area
did do something substantial that
where
could
they
be
might have done
characterized
something
as an act.
substantial. Okay.
That resides in the area of these electors, the scheme where they
Electors.
supposedly were going to try to present fraudulent electors, that's the language of the indictment.
They were going to
the
present
Senate
fraudulent
and
electors.
try to quote unquote create
Fraudulent
chaos
according
in the
to
Senate.
who?
The problem
Fraudulent electors in the Senate. Yeah, I mean, come on, April Fools, dude. I mean, it wasn't April Fools, but they were just pulled like a gag. Have a sense of humor.
as the one responsible for
Come on.
Instead,
Sometimes you gotta be a disruptor.
that his co-conspirators are. And I think that's also... They had a smoking gun that Donald Trump said, yes, fraudulent electors, let's go with that
Yeah,
plan.
they didn't even find the
Shoot that
gun.
stuff into the Senate. They had that, it would have been in there, and it's not. So that looks to me like pressure.
You got
And that
nuts to
tells me
butts
that
over
one of
some
these
practical
co-conspirators
joke
may be online
where he was
here,
basically
maybe in
just
the
trying to
sights
pull a
of
gag,
prosecutors
you know.
for a flip.
And
that's my read. It
speaking of
almost
which,
looks like if
you know,
we accept
saying
the
that these
idea
guys were
that the
not
electors
legitimate
control
electors,
substantial
if they are chosen by our commander in chief, supreme leader, then who's to say they're not legitimate?
On August
You know?
28th. Paul, what's your take on
Kick
how
the
realistic
can,
a trial
guys.
is before
Kick the can.
election 2024? I mean, isn't there a
Yeah.
process where you have to do, discovery and depositions, and would that happen within a year?
Yeah, I think your antenna are firing off exactly accurately, Maria. I don't think that's
Man,
going to happen.
I tell you, I'm so glad Donald Trump decided to run for president again, and I'm so glad that he announced to run for president way earlier than anybody's ever announced to run for president before. And in doing so, gee, you know, the left is always saying he's not a smart guy. Oh man, he is one smart dude. I mean, getting his butt beaten by Joe Biden and then deciding to announce a run for president of the United States again and announcing it earlier than any presidential candidate in history has ever done. That was genius, folks. In doing so, Donald Trump was able to make the claim that he is being persecuted for political reasons. And he's been able to say that over and over and over again to get it into the public minds, to get it into the public discourse, to get his followers to be able to repeat his words and chant those words every time he is charged with anything. I mean, come on, they say Donald Trump ain't smart. That's smart. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I want in a leader, to be able to think ahead of time, to be able to do something like that, you know? I mean, to announce running for president that earlier than anybody has ever announced to run for president before, and to do it in such a way, you know, it was just brilliant. He's been able to make the claim that the Biden administration is the one that's been actually going after him. Even though we really know it hasn't been, he's been able to basically drill this into the minds of his followers and get people to be able to repeat his words, so that anytime he is charged with anything, any kind of crime, any kind of, indictment, he can basically claim that he is being politically persecuted. He is brilliant. You know, that's what I love about this guy. You know, he speaks it like it is. He may not be telling the truth, but you know, it's how I'm used to hearing people talk, and it makes me feel good. And not only that, folks, it's entertaining. He makes me feel important, like I'm part of something. He makes me feel like I'm some kind of soldier or fighter against some evil forces, and it's great. You know, it's really exciting. You know, that's what I love about Donald Trump. That and I want a leader who's got that kind of intelligence, that's, you know, can think ahead of time and basically come up with things to say if he's called out on, you know, behavior, if he's charged with a crime, if he's indicted. He thinks ahead of time and knows that if they do this, I'm going to be able to say, hey, I'm running for president. I'm being politically persecuted. It's genius, folks.
Larry's a star. I made him a star. I didn't necessarily want to be a star. Like a dog. They don't like and subscribe. Now, if you want to be a loser, like the sanctimonious, then I recommend you don't like and subscribe. But if you want to be one of the people that gets all the stuff done in the world, then I recommend you like and subscribe. And they're taking it to a level that I don't think it's ever been so bad. And they treat him like a dog. It's so bad. It's so bad. Nobody's ever been treated worse than Larry, except for maybe me. They treat him like a dog. They do this thing. They come in. They don't like and subscribe. I recommend you do. I know a lot of people. They love this guy. I know him. Very good people. They love him. They recommend him. They say Larry's the best. They say Larry's a very good guy. They love him. They like and subscribe. And it's so sad. It's so sad. I don't think the United States has ever been so bad. You know, send them to China, where you don't gotta like and subscribe. Come on. We recommend. We're gonna do it right. Now, all these people, they say, come on over. Let's see Larry's work. They come in. They say, hey, this is great. This is great. This is funny. I love it. I'm learning a lot of things. But then they don't like and subscribe. It's terrible. It's terrible, people. You gotta come in. You gotta like and subscribe, unless you want to be a loser like the sanctimonious. Then I recommend you don't. If you want to be a loser like the sanctimonious, they know it's the worst it's ever been. It's so sad, so sad. I tell you, people, he's coming. Yeah, I tell you, people, they come in, they say this, they say that. They love me, all the people, they do. Whoever's there, the clerks at the grocery store, the guy stocking groceries, the lady in the produce department, all the people. I talk to the clerks. I talk to them all. They love me. Everybody loves me. Okay? Like and subscribe.